The first thing to know about marriage is that it takes effort. Even though you hopefully have the right person, yes, it still takes effort.
Number 2 is that it's not always romantic, but there should be romance. Anyone who's like, when I got married, all the romance died. What, you guys need to talk about things? Because I'm not saying you have to permanently be in a world of romantic times, because that's not real life. If you've got to do washing up and you need to do laundry, that's not a very romantic time. But there should be some romance at some point. And if there's not romance in your marriage, you guys need to talk about some stuff.
Agreed.
Number 3 is that it is godly.
Agreed.
Exactly. And in fact, marriage is actually talked about in Genesis chapter 2 and in some verses, I believe it's 23 to 24.
Yes.
So, God's like right in there with like what he feels about marriage. I mean, the second chapter of the whole Bible.
Yeah, I mean, that's history of man right there, everyone.
God's like very pro-marriage.
Agreed. Number 4, it is a covenant, which means it's a lifelong agreement, not just a contract. It's much more serious and much more consequential than a contract. A covenant means, of course, that there's all sorts of little details in there, like covenant living, which means you live up to your side of the agreement, covenant giving, etc., etc. Now, there's probably loads of resources all on the internet, including from our own church, but but it's a covenant between the two of you, and that's really important because that means quite clearly you both have some living up to do to make it a successful covenant life.
So here's Erin and I'm Deborah, and this is Faith-Filled Marriage, where we talk about marriage and relationships from a Christian perspective. And if that's something that you're interested in, or you have some questions, you're not quite sure about stuff, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos.
That's right. Back to number 5, it's sacrificial. Number 5. Because even though it's a symbiotic relationship, or it should be a symbiotic relationship, you're still giving of yourself. And it's really just about the only relationship that one can have outside of one's relationship with God, where the other person gets to fully know you and you could be fully open, and it requires a great deal of trust. And that's sacrificial, because that kind of level of trust could be scary, couldn't it?
Vulnerability.
It is vulnerable, yeah. So number 5 is sacrificial.
Number 6 is that while the other person's sacrificing to you, that means you're receiving stuff.
That's right.
So when he's sacrificing of himself to me, I'm getting stuff from him, and vice versa. So it's not just about like dishing stuff out, but like in return you get whatever you're getting. It could be comfort, it could be peace, it could be that sort of feeling of home, whatever it is.
Yes, indeed.
Is you also get things. It's not just about dishing stuff out, where it shouldn't be just about dishing stuff out.
Number 7. It's great.
It is.
I think so, at least. And that's very important for me. It's great. Before we go to number 8, what do you think should be added to this list? You surely have something else that you think should be added, and about what people should know about marriage, before marriage, during marriage, thinking about eventually getting married, hopefully one day, possibly maybe, seeing someone else get married, all of those kind of things. What do you think should be on this list?
Let us know in the comments.
Yep. And now, back to our list.
Number 8 is, well, in the UK anyway, if you're married, you get tax deductions.
That's right.
So helpful. Who doesn't like a tax deduction?
That's right.
Just saying. But anyone who's not in the UK, go and look on your government websites, because there might be hidden things for marriage in your country too.
That's right.
In the UK, if you're married, you actually do get tax deductions.
Number 9, it's supposed to be productive, and we don't just mean children. It's meant to be productive in your ministry, in your life's work together, in your relationship with each other. That means not just children, but also how do you blossom as a pair? How do you grow? All sorts of cool stuff happen because instead of being one, you are now a team. And this is a great thing. The Bible actually says one shall put 1,000, but two shall put 10,000 to flight. Smashing. That is productivity. Abundance.
Number 10 is, to be honest, it's debatable if a perfect marriage exists. And if you're wondering why he's shaking his head and I'm just like, it's debatable, go and check out our next video. And because we actually had a bit of a discussion, we made a video, do we think we have a perfect marriage? And it answers the question, does a perfect marriage, or do we think a perfect marriage actually exists? So go and check that link and we will see you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.